Alright gamers, welcome back to the no LTS tournament. We are here with Aslov and Trotz battling out, and they are Seed 1 and Seed 2 of their group, so this could be quite an interesting match. But before we get going, I just want to remind you guys that this stream and channel are sponsored by the Urban Arts Partnership, and they have a program, the School of Interactive Arts, which is a multi-year college prep program which teaches students both arts and technology in the video game development. So that preps them for degrees and careers in the tech and gaming industry. So that's quite a cool sponsorship we have here.
For sure.
Right, but without further ado, we have our gamers. Trotz appears to be in Geyser Rock. No, the opposite. He is not in Geyser Rock, is what I meant to say. So when he's finished slamming his head into the ground, we can get started. Somebody give him the memo.
Does he know how to start a speedrun of Jak and Daxter?
Oh, maybe we should ask him. I do appreciate the scenic view he's giving us of the fountain here. It's great. Oh, here we go.
Yep. They should be starting. They should be starting about 10 seconds here.
Looks like Trotz has already started.
Oh.
And
I don't know what's going on. It happens.
Did Aslov crash? There's no way. Please tell me
that looks like a crash. But I assume you would have addressed it.
Okay, because that is actually, believe it or not, that is the frame that timing starts in a run that is frozen on. I'm assuming that was unintentional, but that is frame perfect. So, just in time. So we're just syncing up here and then we'll be ready to go. I guess while we're we can quickly mention that compared to the last race, I already alluded to it, this one might be a lot closer because we have only a separation of 2.5 minutes between the TVs over almost an hour-long run. So this could well be one of the races of the group stage.
True. Oh, we're
going. Oh, the sync. I love it. That was so smooth.
We don't have a timer going on stream right now. Oh, Aslov's doing the cutscene skip there, and you can see how much time it does indeed save.
Saves about just over 3 seconds with a clean one, and Aslov's look pretty clean to me. So there we go.
We have the timer on board as well.
Aslov already destroying the competition with this skip. That's the first time we've seen at this tournament. It won't be the last. But yeah, that's a very much a top runner skip because it doesn't save a whole lot and it's not the easiest to do. So yeah, that's cool. We saw that already.
Yep.
And I mean, Trotz by no means a bad runner. He's well up there as well. But when it comes to a 3-second time save, that's pretty awkward to do. It's it's not really much point in doing it until you really need that to milk out that extra time save.
Oh, Aslov, kind of an awkward spot to land on there.
Yeah, slightly unoptimal, guys. I probably should reset.
Can we get a restart in the race?
Yeah. But yeah, so probably a gap of like 3-4 seconds between the two of them, mostly coming from that cutscene skip. I don't think there was much difference execution-wise outside.
The race starts after fish. That's when we're like looking at like the difference.
Yeah, let's see whether or not the fish is the great equalizer this time, or like last time it just takes a dump on this equalizing idea and just...
It would be good for the race if it pushed Trotz ahead by like 10-15 seconds.
As much as possible, really, because... Yeah. You would expect Aslov to finish at least a minute ahead, given equal RNG, so any little advantage Trotz can get will be beneficial.
Yep. But as mentioned, probably 4 times in the last 5 minutes, this should be a pretty close race in comparison to anything.
I think we should probably keep mentioning that.
Yeah, we will keep mentioning that every time, every chance we get. Oh, Aslov making a huge mistake.
Well, cutting his lead in half. How drastic that was.
Yeah. He lost a whole 2 punches of time.
And how much is a punch 6 or? You seem to know exactly how much one fish was in Fish Game.
There is actually frame data on that.
frame. He's pulling up the frame data.
I just typed Jak and Daxter into Google. That's how I find all my information about these games.
I think that was a sub-3 fisherman from both runners, which at this level is, that's sort of expected. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you don't get a sub-3, but at the level these two are at, that's sort of what they expect.
I'll give you a power cell if you can catch 2 and then I'll let you
yeah, it's about 2.5 seconds between the two now. So yeah, we'll see how Fish goes for the both of them.
2 types of good fish to catch.
Trotz with the slightly more optimal express there, saving him maybe a frame.
20 pounds of good fish. Then I'm gonna take me net back from you.
So, in case it wasn't obvious, this Fish Game is completely RNG, but there are ways to manipulate better fish. However, in this category we don't do the minute because it is slower. You might think, why the hell would it be slower to minute the fish to be better? Minute meaning manipulate. And that's because to do the fish minute, you have to do one of the other missions in this level, which is to connect these mirrors. They shoot like beams of eco between each other, and you have to connect a bunch of them up and then do fish immediately after doing that, and that makes the fish better for some reason. So that's only actually worth doing in 100%, because you obviously have to do everything in 100% anyway, so you might as well do it in that particular order and get better fish out of it. But yeah, in this category we just have very average fish, and I didn't see what they had out of third phase, but we'll see what they have going into eels. Aslov on 145, that's almost bang on the average.
It would seem that a punch is 9 frames, so he lost 18 frames.
Thank goodness for that information. Back to the race. So, Trotz not having as good a fish as Aslov here. He's a good 16 fish behind-ish, which back to 6 slots, 0.4, we're talking maybe 7 or 8 seconds lost already. Not the worst ending.
Yeah, the fact that they're like both going to be in the same, if they're in the same power cell cutscene, it's a very even race.
I think honestly they're only 4 seconds apart, so I think Trotz had a better ending for his fish. But Aslov did have a better fish overall, fairly. Very even fish though, comparatively.
That's good though, for the race quality, but...
Yeah, someone in chat bringing up a very good point. This should be a close race, so that's just adding to it really, the fish being...
Yeah, we're expecting like not that big of a difference at the end here from these two.
Close race tends to mean.
Yeah, I was just elaborating.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyway,
Aslov going down, getting some power cells. Needs 72 of them.
Yeah, we've all seen it before. It's the same route as before. But this time I expect both of them to be...
Sorry.
I expect both of these guys to be a bit more confident.
Yeah, none of these people rerouted the category between these two races.
I thought I'd just, you know, make sure we're all on the same page. Anyway. Yeah, I think both of these guys should be more confident on their orb routes compared to the last race. I mean, I say that, for all we know, G3 was confident on his orb route. He was doing a different one, a less optimal one. But, yeah, anyway. Let's expect these guys to be doing pretty similar things.
Oh, Aslov taking a huge death there. They're like...
Once again, cutting his lead in half. Maybe
that's over half. That's like 90% of his lead just gone. Insane.
Yeah, he pulled out a bit of a lead after Fish just from cleaner movement, but one death and he's
2 seconds ahead.
Yeah, we're pretty much back to the same separation we had after Fish, so maybe that's
Rocket from Aslov, not from Trotz.
Yeah, that trick I mentioned in the last race, where you can do an uppercut just before the cutscene starts to launch yourself upwards. You can do it on that cutscene as well, but it's completely useless.
So the time loss here is Trotz is getting some time loss from getting extra orbs. He's going to have a lot more than Aslov, because Aslov did not take the jump pad. No quick
So right
fight.
here they're both going for, we didn't mention it last race, but they're going for...
Quick fight for Trotz.
Yeah, bite skip, but then an even better version being quick bite, which Trotz got, which saved him an extra second over Aslov. Both of them got the very basic bite skip though, so saving about 6 seconds over what a casual could hope for, I guess.
So without that jump pad, I think this would be at least even. Trotz would probably be slightly ahead right now.
Oh yeah, I already forgot he got that, and I was like, how the hell has Aslov pulled the lead? Yeah, no. So
yeah, as you can see, Trotz is like 10 orbs, 11 orbs ahead of Aslov right now, who's messing up. Huge mistake.
Cut his lead in half once again. This is crazy. I'm surprised the lead hasn't changed. It's just Aslov pulls away and then gets pulled back in by a mistake of his own. Yeah, Aslov very low on orbs here. But I mean, he must grab extras elsewhere to make up for not grabbing that. Getting that jump pad, which Trotz got, is, I think, pretty normal.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's dead even, what the hell?
Trotz. Oh, this is... We'll see which one's first. Aslov leading the race by about 0.15 seconds.
As you can see, a very close race, as we predicted.
Yeah, how did we know that this would be so close? You can tell that Aslov has slightly darker capture card settings. Just from the side-by-side comparison.
Yeah.
That we have brought to
It might
you.
also be nighttime for him. I think it's daytime for Trotz as well. Because yeah, fun fact, this game, yeah, definitely, as you can see the stars on Aslov's screen. But yeah, fun fact, this game actually does have a day-night cycle. I know that's super impressive.
Trotz takes the lead.
What the heck? I mean, they're like synced. Jesus Christ. I mean, oh, Aslov again. This is
interesting.
Maybe a bit of nerves here from Aslov. Trotz really
chilling
to play. Yeah, he's just chilling now. Reminder again that Trotz wasted about 5 seconds grabbing extra orbs. So the fact that he is ahead is well, yeah. Aslov should have a bit of a lead.
And Aslov also has Aslov has quite clearly like less room for error here for the cycles as well. Because you are going against the clock. Right,
good point. So he might lose even more time. And in Misty, you lose a little bit of time, it sort of compounds itself by giving you a worse cycle.
Trotz gets it nice and clean. Aslov went for that faster.
But at this point, it doesn't matter if he goes for it fast. Well, I guess for Aslov, no, it really actually doesn't. It doesn't matter how fast or slow you do that roll jump, really, as long as you don't do it ridiculously slowly. In this category, anyway, because you are on a cycle.
Aslov missed that orb vent. This is gonna be really awkward for him now.
He's exactly 30 orbs behind. which is
very significant.
he obviously was going to grab at least like 10 extra somewhere, but he has a lot to make up now.
So Trotz is going to pull a very sizable lead out of this now. This is getting interesting.
Yeah, we'll get back to the day-night cycle when things get less interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trotz, you can see here on the right, he has the Zeppelins overlapped, which is what you want. I don't know if we saw that at all before, because we had people doing death cycle, but yeah, you can actually get the two Zeppelins pretty much perfectly overlapped, so they are almost indistinguishable from each other, but you need really, really clean movement for that.
So it seems that Trotz is like 3 seconds ahead of Aslov, but this is gonna become a huge gap from the orb count, because there are not like just casual get him real quick orbs.
Well, I think Aslov also hasn't killed one of the Zeppelins.
Oh
No, I'm wrong. He has killed them all. So actually,
Aslov's gonna pull a seeming lead here.
yes. Yeah, Trot's barely missing that last Zeppelin, so he has to wait for it to come back down. That's about a 6-second timer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as alluded to, this is Aslov in the lead, but he's gonna lose time from. Yeah, this is actually a close race. Lead changes all the time. Excuse me. So yeah, you want to have about, at least what I aim for is 180 orbs at least out of Misty, and Aslov's at 164. Trotz, meanwhile, at 187. Although we did see, G3 has shown that that orb vent in Sandover can pull you back in if you're behind on orbs, but Aslov definitely did not intend to be this low on orbs.
Yeah.
Both getting that ledge grab was pretty pog.
Based.
Also, not insignificant, Aslov is on 1 health, and you don't get any more health until halfway through Sentinel Beach, so there is the possibility.
13 boats from both runners here. Pretty
Yeah, I mentioned last race a 13 boat is pretty good, so despite the mistakes from Aslov, he's still managed to pull out a sub 13. I mean, yeah, if we did the seeding right now, Aslov would be seed 2 in this tournament, so you expect him to be able to pull out pretty nasty times, even with mistakes that might come from nerves.
Sentinel was an interesting level to say the least last run compared to how very much straightforward it is usually. There was some scuff from both runners involved, excuse me. And we'll see how this goes. Hoping Aslov won't get sniped here, because that could happen.
This is what I was going to mention. You can actually get sniped by the cannon here, and it's pretty much out of your control. So if the game felt like destroying Aslov's run, it could have killed him right there.
And that would be a pretty big time loss. 15 seconds making his way back there.
It's one of the levels, just like FJ Forbidden Jungle, which only has 1 checkpoint, at least in the main level. So with FJ, it's not so bad, 'cause it's sort of like a ring. The whole level is like a ring, but Sentinel is very stretched out. So if you die, you have to run a long way back to where you were.
Both having a pretty bad cannon there. No advantage for either runner on that. We'll see how birds treat him.
Should be relatively even for birds. Both runners presumably on 60 hertz.
Bars. Yeah, can still take a few seconds if your movement isn't optimal by the game standards. Aslov has to just go to the other side. Pretty much the smallest time loss you can have over perfect. Bit of an awkward spot he leaves there.
Looks like
Trotz has really good.
Yeah. And better movement as well.
Making it to a better spot there for sure.
So yeah, Aslov's pulling out. You can see him just gaining time here, and this is just, you know, the difference between the sort of level that Trotz is at, and like the very top tier of Jak 1 speedrunning, which is where Aslov is most definitely at. He's just pulling time continually. Oh, that's terrible.
No.
Trotz. So to explain that, what you're supposed to do is, when we were on the tower and we shot the cannon at the Pelican, and we blow it up, and then the power cells just sat there. But Trotz missed the Pelican, so now he has to race the Pelican the casual way to the power cell, and that's going to lose him a lot of time, actually.
Yep. I was gonna comment on that, but I thought like maybe the way I do it is just like.
It is quite lenient, but that doesn't mean you
Aslov
can't
just got the blue eco fly, by the way, that we've been talking about.
Yep, very nice.
So now there's suddenly 30 seconds of difference here, depending on Aslov's orb count, which I haven't been keeping tabs on.
He's definitely behind, but again,
Yeah.
the vent in Sandover will save him to some extent. I think he might still have to go out of his way just a tiny bit. Yeah, he will definitely.
Now beat me down here by the egg.
I think he's like just about perfect on orbs, depending how
Yeah,
many
no.
he got in front of like
Yeah, I think actually given that vent, he's gonna be fine.
but he's gonna be clutching it for the second one to see if he can just
Isn't that
get the correct amount of orbs for Hub 2 Oracle.
It's Mama.
So this cutscene is about 37 seconds, and they're both just about gonna be inside it at the same time.
I'll take this little chick
So that's
with me and work with the sage to take care of her.
okay. We're talking about 40 seconds here.
Yeah, that missing the Pelican, other than dying, missing the Pelican is about the only other big mistake you can have in this level.
Yeah.
There's not much else that can go wrong through your own play, so that's definitely not what Trotz wanted. But this is going to be a close race, so we know that he's going to make the comeback. Most definitely.
Yeah, this is a close race, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aslov's fine,
I'm amused.
but Trotz definitely more in a chillin' kind of
Take this power cell. I won't need it
orb
now
count
that
here.
vibration
Yeah,
back.
Trotz is like really good on orbs.
His pockets are very definitely full. So yeah, we need 240 here, but Aslov's at 220, but he's going to grab 15 here, and then he's going to be able to grab at least 5 before he gets the Oracle, but
Yep.
again...
That's about 7-8 seconds having to go for that orb run.
Probably not even that, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it's around there, probably.
7 seconds is a pretty good estimate. Which, you know, seems fast. 15 orbs for 7 seconds, but unnecessary. We see Aslov in the chat right now prospecting that he might trip going into Fire Canyon. We shall see.
We shall see if his predictions are as good as ours.
Our prediction, of course, being that this will be a close race.
Yes.
You have proven yourself worthy.
Okay, both at Oracle at least.
Yeah, I think that it's likely going to be that Aslov finishes the cutscene in Fire Canyon as Trotz arrives at it, more or less. That'll be the difference. Which, honestly, so about 2-minute 40 difference in their PBs. After Hub 1 being 40 seconds behind, that's about expected, really. And Trotz had a very, not normal mistake, so Trotz has definitely had, outside of that mistake,
There you go.
Aslov tripped, just as he predicted. Outside of that mistake, Trotz definitely had a cleaner Hub 1, I think. But that mistake's just cost him big.
The shield will only protect your zoomer till it reaches 500 degrees, so try to keep her cool. Flying over open lava will definitely heat you up fast. Hit 500 degrees and it's over.
But yeah, that trip happens. Maybe we should explain that. The way this game works is you may notice there are no loading screens. They made it so you can run between levels pretty seamlessly, and as you're running towards a level it loads, so by the time you get there it's loaded. But if you get to a level before it's finished loading, as is quite common in speedrunning, as you can imagine, yeah, the game doesn't want you to see an unloaded level, so it just trips you up, stops you from moving Jak or the camera.
Yeah, for about 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds.
Yeah, until he gets back up, and then if it's still not loaded, it will trip you again, and it will keep doing that until the level's loaded. Normally that wouldn't happen running to Fire Canyon like that, but because of Aslov doing some atypical movement, typical movement that you wouldn't normally do, sort of deloads Fire Canyon and means it has to be reloaded again.
So we're looking at about 32 seconds here that Aslov leads Trotz by. Still a very entertaining race, seeing them pretty much at all times at the same level.
Yep. So despite that travesty of Aslov and his orbs in Hub 1, he is doing just fine now. You pretty much always are. As long as you get this, once you've bought the first Oracle, you're pretty you can pretty much reset yourself and be on track for the next Oracle. You need to stay on your toes though. I think Trotz is also fine. I think he's 1 orb behind Aslov. So yeah, Aslov's on a very similar pace, I think, to Flu in our last race.
First try pause buffer for Aslov, blue stage. Oh.
Terrible bonk there. Very unoptimal.
Yep, huge mistake.
Huge mistake. Didn't quite cut his lead in half this time, but still, every little helps, or doesn't. That's a failed buffer from Trotz there. It's about 1.5 seconds each time you fail one of those. I don't know if we actually mentioned, but pause buffers are, it's just pressing pause and one of the buttons to bring up the HUD on the same frame.
Yeah, a frame perfect trick, but sounds more scarier than it actually is because it's pretty easy.
Yeah, it's like an easy frame perfect trick. Well, easy for some anyway. When you do it, you're basically invincible. The easiest way to say it is you're basically invulnerable to cutscenes. Invincible, immune.
Yeah, immune
to cutscenes for 2.5 seconds until the game pauses itself. Unless a few other things happen. But we use it to do a lot of cutscene skips in this game.
Yep. We see both of them. Aslov doing some weird movement there. We see both of them going for the orbs that are essentially part of the route anyways, but if you have a lot of orbs, you can pretty much skip those 2 boxes.
Aslov's perfect on his orbs count. So he's fine, he's chilling.
I mean, from what I've seen so far, I think it's pretty evident that this will be a close race.
Yeah, I think that's undeniable at this point.
Aslov doing the plans, cutting that turn a bit wide, but it's not a huge deal.
At the sort of level we're talking about here, you're able to, have a not quite. Yeah, you're able to react and sort of change your plants a little bit to make even some bad plants work out and still get up 1 cycle. So he's fine. I didn't see what Trotz's orb count is, but he didn't try and grab any extras there, so I'm assuming he's fine.
Responding to a question in chat right now about cutscenes that are not skipped. If you activate a cutscene by pressing circle, you cannot pause buffer over those. Thus, we cannot, at least according to current knowledge, skip them. Ooh. Oh, Trotz having to take
barely missing that. Yeah.
Got a good lucky spawn.
Nope. Spoke too soon. That was very stupid. That's completely out of his control there. That's just very unlucky.
Yep. Losing 10 seconds. 10 seconds to Aslov across that basin.
Basin being a zoomer level, the only real time loss is, unless you fall down somewhere, it's really only plants.
Yep. So what you actually see, I don't think we've talked about this, pausing into the last Scoutfly saves the game, saves the fact that you've gotten the power cell, but the cutscene doesn't play. You can pause into any power cell cutscene that is directly activated in that form, where a cutscene is immediately followed. That is. So
that basically only applies to if you're on a zoomer and you Well, it's actually there's not actually that many power cells you can do it with.
Every Scalfly power cell that you can get with either their Zoomer, any power cell that, like the Citadel ones, you see it with Citadel skip.
Yeah. But either way, the whole point there being that you pause the game instead of watching the cutscene, and then you just load out because the game auto saves. And yeah, cutscene skip. Very, very small one, but not insignificant.
Oh, Aslov not getting the boosted. A very huge time loss.
Yep, cutting his deficit by 0.5%. Or, well, not cutting his deficit. Cutting Trotz's deficit. Okay, whatever. See if Trotz gets the death vector. I think he should.
Aslov having some other scuffage, making him miss this faster cycle here.
Yeah, so far I'd say Trotz has been very clean. It's just, it's like it's just the difference in speed in general is what's bringing Aslov ahead, and also obviously the big mistake in Sentinel and the stuff like the plants is what's causing this lead here. But mistake-wise, I mean, the number of them, it's far fewer on Trotz's side. He's having a pretty good race so far.
44 seconds behind Aslov.
Really hasn't changed that much since the start of Hub 1, really, has it? I think that wasn't that about probably at the start of Hub 1?
I assume you mean Hub 2.
Yeah, that is what I mean, start of Hub 2. I think it was between 35 to 40, right? The difference, something like that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, still a close race, as has been rumored.
Yeah, the word on the streets.
Expecting fairly clean skips here from the two of them. Aslov pulling off piggyback, no problem. And Trotz has got puzzle skip as well. And yeah, we're not looking at orb count anymore because we need another 240, but we have a lot longer to get it at this point.
20 minutes instead of less than that.
Yeah, we get like 480 orbs in the first 25 minutes of the run, and then in the next 20 minutes we get only another 240. So it's a very different mindset.
And not a lot of that is cutscenes.
Yeah.
As opposed to Hub 1, for example.
Trotz with a clean piggyback. I'm just waiting for the inevitable mistake. Yeah. There's got to be one.
Yeah, it's gonna make or break this.
It's there obviously have been some, but we've had a period here where there's really nothing to separate them. Nothing easy to spot anyway. So Aslov heading out of LPC. Very normal LPC for him, I think. Maybe a little bit of scuffed movement at the start. But nothing crazy. It's pretty much his run in a nutshell, really, isn't it?
Yep.
He hasn't done anything crazy bad, as you'd expect.
Oh no.
Finally, something to talk about. Trotz failing vent skip once. But
which ends up losing him about 6 seconds.
Yeah, definitely not going to break his back, but still.
Boggy, you can have some stuff happening in Boggy.
Yes. An unfortunate death could ruin your day here. And if you know the backups, you know the checkpoints, you shouldn't be dying. But it could still happen. You never know when a frog's going to sneak up behind you and give you a lick. Both in real life and in the game.
Exactly.
You might have to be in the Amazon rainforest for that to happen, but still.
Right. Aslov also going for this faster method. Very nice. Trotz not going for a fish skip.
Honestly, that's apparently 1 second faster. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't even 1 second faster.
Yeah.
And I probably won't even do it in my runs. I don't do it in my runs yet, and I probably won't do it in the tournament. To be honest, just in case I fail fish skip or something. We should probably say that fish skip is not like, it's literally just skipping from LPC to bogey quickly.
Oh, will Trotz go for this? He won't. He didn't have the yellow eco or the balls, or the combination of the two.
So yeah, expecting Trotz to go for the out of bounds here. Aslov got it cleanly. Oh. That's not what. Okay, that's that's a failed out of bounds, and likely because he not knowing that he probably should just take the long way around. It's probably faster, especially because he's going to get a Daxter cutscene here.
And a pretty lengthy one as well. That's a notable time loss for sure, giving Aslov a very hefty lead.
He's going to go for this trick again.
Gets it.
Getting a little bit lost there, but there we go. Makes it through. Haven't been paying attention to Aslov, but I think he's not had anything notable. Yeah, so that's another. There's not much to tell apart until something like that happens, really.
Yep.
For these guys, the movement from both of them is pretty clean. It's not good, actually. Aslov thought he was on. Okay, that's not actually going to lose him a whole lot, but
he has to take all 3 damage again.
That's at least a good like 10 seconds.
That's probably 10 seconds. Not what Trotz lost, but
yeah,
bringing it slightly more even, I suppose.
Yeah, you do a lot of the death warping in boggy, but Aslov died too early before he got the checkpoint. I think he thought he was on 2 health because he took damage on the frog on purpose, not realizing he was actually on 1 health. Yeah.
Trotz trying to take damage from the frog, but the frog hopping away.
Basically, those frogs in a nutshell, they will damage you when they want to, and not when you want them to. So, do we see a lava walk at Aslov? I don't think so, because I think if he is not watching the stream, he probably thinks that Trotz could be on his ass because he's had some mistakes, like the one he just had. So yeah, not all that surprised to not see him go for lava walk.
Trotz actually taking a good bit of damage there. He wants to take damage here, go down to 2 health before the eventual death warp. The time difference here, over a minute for sure now.
Yeah, it's definitely that mistake at the start of blow years cost Trotz quite a lot here.
Aslov's checkpoint thing brought it like 10 seconds closer again, but that's not going to be enough alone. I mean, we're still going to pretty much see these guys, most likely, unless something horrendous happens. We're going to see these guys in the same level for the rest of the run, apart from like the transition bits.
Yes, apart from potentially Mountain Pass, but no, I think even then we should see him in the same level. So yeah, just like the volcanic crater, but those barely count as levels. So yeah, I think Trotz is like a minute 15, minute 20 behind now, I think.
Minute 20 is a pretty close guess. It is in fact a minute and 23 seconds.
God, I'm so smart. Some swag boosted.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a nice movement.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't going to call it nice, but it was most definitely moving.
We'll see if Aslov goes for some form of hops here. He might not, honestly, just in case he'd fail it and he thinks that Trotz is close.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? Is I don't have any idea if these guys know.
Aslov was typing in the chat earlier, so he's probably watching the stream.
He may just have the chat open, to be fair, or have just pulled it up for that specific reason. But
we'll see. He is gonna go for it.
Yeah, I mentioned it last race. Aslov is one of the 2 people who does this now and runs.
Nice.
And he gets it. Nice. That's gonna be
big.
That puts me on edge, not gonna lie, because if Aslov and I get out of groups and I end up playing him, I don't know if I will. That's an immediate deficit for me if he gets that trick, so I'm not looking forward to that. Both him and Flu seem to be pretty good at it. So
yeah, as you correctly expected, they are also in Mountain Pass at the same time for a bit here.
Even with that skip, in fact, I was anticipating Aslov doing backward cell, but even with that 26-27 second time save.
Yeah, so now, as you can tell, he doesn't have to go back on foot, because that is the cell that you get with that trick. We'll see what the time difference is. A single failed pause buffer. Oh, we see Trotz going for tree hops. Oh my god, no! That would have been crazy. That's gonna be... Oh, with that, it's probably gonna be above 20 seconds of time loss. That might just be the nail in the coffin. I fully respect them for going for it.
I had to step away for like 10 seconds. Did Trotz go for tree hops? Or
yes.
Rock hop?
Tree hops.
Oh no.
And failed it, unfortunately. Barely gonna make it through Mountain Pass though.
Don't go for the... No!
Oh, this kid.
So yeah, he really, what he should have done is skip this fly and just gone for the race win, because
He's good. He's good.
Barely. That's crazy. I mean, big balls on him for going for that. I wonder if he even knows about like just skipping that or not.
So yeah, I fully respect him for going for that, because that was pretty much his last chance to like get back in it, but also that's kind of the nail in the coffin. The extra 20-second time loss there over just doing normal Mountain Pass.
On top of the fact that Aslov also got it. So yeah.
So we're looking at like probably 2 minutes here, which I mean, granted, is expected. Like Trotz, just looking at like Aslov should win this race like 19 out of 20 times, anyways. But Trotz fought a good battle, still fighting. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, a cutscene skip failed in Citadel here. A death in snowy dirt could bring it back. Both unexpected, but the expected does not always happen in these races. Aslov's most definitely like settled in there. Seems to be. I don't know if it was nerves at the start, but he definitely just seems more in a groove now.
Yep, Trotz having 2 failed pause buffers there, not a huge deal, but not helping his case. I don't think we've had like, I mean, we've pretty much only had like one race so far. But so far there's no like major mess ups in this section, which you can easily mess up. And dying there can actually be like very costly, because the yellow eco is out of reach from the spawn. Oh, Trotz.
That's it, yeah. So
that's kind of
10-15 seconds.
That's another 6. It's kind of looking like Trotz has at least subconsciously given up at this point.
Yeah, even if he hasn't, consciously decided to give up, it's once you start making mistakes, and especially after he went for tree hops and didn't get them, it's pretty hard to play to maximum focus.
Even if he's not watching the stream, I don't think he has any reason to assume that Aslov is behind him.
Yeah.
Like, even if you try to tell yourself that that might be the case, then it's pretty hard. Goes for that though. Very nice.
Respect. Doesn't go for the new Death Warp. I know he doesn't like it.
I can see why you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, I think, as far as I know, very clean Spider Cave from Aslov, I think. Not sure about orb counts. I literally don't even like look at my orb count like ever. I just sort of play, and then when I'm close to needing the orbs, I'm like, oh yeah, that's it.
Usually like snowy fortress. I just check if I'm close.
Yeah.
If I need the vents.
Trotz getting the boosted first try, and he also, I think he did it without zooming. I think he may be the first person to do that this tournament without zooming. Maybe? Well, outside the qualifiers, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, the time difference here, 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Not the,
no
not
longer the closest
smallest
of races. But hey, it was close.
It was
for a while.
And I mean, even if Aslov fails gondola skip, that won't be enough. So there needs to be a huge culmination of mistakes.
Yeah. Really should not be any different than the expected result here.
Yep. We'll see if Trotz can get like 58-ish time here.
Yeah, I mean, the time, whether or not this race is a foregone conclusion, the times they get are still interesting to see, because it's, especially for me personally, Aslov, because obviously he's, I'm not going to say he's a favourite to win it, because that's obviously goes to the seed one, our boy Josh, but like he is definitely has the ability to win this tournament. So seeing what kind of time he ends up with here is very interesting to me.
I think if Josh is 90% likely to win, Aslov is like 9 of the remaining 10%.
Yep.
I'm really glad I'm probably getting him against me.
Although I don't think I would say it's 90% for Josh. I know you just sort of pulled that out of thin air, but like I do think
things can happen, you never know.
Especially considering how close Aslov is to the world record right now with his PB. Obviously Josh having not done the LTS runs in a while, but
alright, we'll give it 80. Bringing it down. Final offer.
Wait, what?
Bringing it down to 80%.
Oh, right. I was like, what are you offering me here? Am I missed something? Am I being bribed for something I didn't know? Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, 80 is better than 90, I guess.
No, it's actually not. It's actually vice versa.
No, it's or better for everybody else that's not
I
Josh.
know.
Shut up! Oh, Aslov, a frame away from getting the 2-frame.
Oh, Trotz not going for the jump. Aslov is lost. Oh no.
Aslov has forgotten where to go momentarily. Not the biggest of time losses, but
huge mistake.
cut his deficit in half. Still not the right word. Yeah, I don't know.
How about lead?
Yeah, that's the word I've been trying to think of, and I just say deficit.
A way easier word indeed.
But yeah, Aslov, a frame away. It's called, well, you can guess why it's called a 2-frame. In fact, I'm not even going to explain it. I'm not going to insult your intelligence.
Yeah.
You can figure out why it's called a 2-frame.
We'll see if this is still the same route for Snowy as well as FJ, or if they have gone ahead and changed the routes.
I'm just being slow right now. I was genuinely like, wait, if they actually changed it?
You idiot.
You're just referencing things that happened in the past, and I'm just not processing that.
Oh, that was scary from Aslov.
It's optimal though.
Yeah, I hope so. You're just risking death and time loss. Why not?
Aren't we always risking death and time loss though? Really?
Oh wow, he really just decided to get some orbs.
Well, he needed them too. I didn't realize, but he was seriously low on orbs, and he needed all of those.
Orbs. I think he needed 2. I don't know if the third one. I mean, the third one at that point is basically the same thing as not getting it. But I mean,
I definitely think if he didn't get that last one, he would be like. If he didn't get it, he would have a hard time getting enough orbs. Like he would have to go out of his way a little bit. So I think it was worth him grabbing the last one.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's 15 in there, like.
Stay alive.
He deliberately is taking some damage here for a death orb after Snowy, but you don't want to take too much damage, obviously.
Oh, that's what he's doing.
I don't know if the second damage was intentional, but the first one definitely was.
Both of them getting the drop down selfish strike. That's nice. We'll see if we get the second successful Gonal skip on flip.
Yep.
Trotz. Never mind. Just Trotz.
Just Trotz. In comes Trotz.
Seek the pure light.
So yeah,
In its flame,
uh,
the answers reside.
2-frame coming up for Trotz. Let's see if he gets it.
By bringing
Nope.
120
Late. Significantly late.
You have obtained another power cell.
Has anyone got that yet? I feel like somebody in the qualifier got it, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. I got it in a random race against Morty, that's all I know.
Oh, thank you. For that. I too have been known to get that trick.
Can we talk about how the Jak and Daxter no LTS text looks like the Spanish flag?
Well, I think we have just talked about it, and
Shout out to every Spanish fan of the channel.
shout out to Vasco, who is not Spanish actually.
Jeez. Shout out to Vasco anyway.
He's Portuguese, but
Just
he is of the Hispanic.
keep digging.
My good friend Vasco. 55.
All right. Additional power cells I should use to supply the heat shield with enough power.
Yeah, shout out to him. Anyway,
But the shields.
uh,
It will now
Lava
stand
Tube.
temperatures
I think
of 800
Trotz.
degrees, but
I don't know. I don't think Trotz will be in Lava Tube at the same time as
I
Aslov
don't
actually.
want to think about what those temperatures would do to your zoomer.
We were saying about them being in the same level. I think because Trotz still has to. He has to finish Snowy and then watch cutscenes. Might be close. I don't really remember how long Lava Tube actually is.
I've released more cooling balloons into the tube, so you can use them to keep.
No.
He is also quite low on orbs actually, Trotz.
In the Yellow Sage's lab. We're counting on you.
Like, I say low, just lower than I would be, which to me means low.
Yes, I would do this optimally and have the correct amount of orbs.
I mean, probably what it means is it probably means I collect too many orbs
Yeah.
before this point, is what that means. But we'll just brush that aside and assume that I'm optimal, I think. That was supposed to
I
be
love
good.
that. Love that from the old man.
Like you're one of the youngest people in the tournament.
Yeah, I believe Trotz is 9 years old.
Can we have his date of birth, town of birth and postcode as well while we're at it? I just stopped. Aslov having a pretty messy oranges room there, but
Yeah, cutting his lead in half.
he's going to cut his deficit in half again. Once again, we call that room Orange's room for fairly obvious reasons. We're very straightforward in the Jak community, I think. We say it how we see it. If it looks orange, we call it Orange room.
That's
orange.
what we called overshooting the cave.
What?
That's what we call overshooting the cave.
I'm going to assume he overshot the cave.
Yeah, he did.
It's crazy.
Insane.
So yeah, so I guess that counts as a failed gondola skip, but no, it isn't because he did skip the gondola. He just didn't stay on foot for it.
Yeah, they're not gonna be in Lava Tube at the same time, for the record.
This is so sad. Yeah, I don't think Aslov's really had... Huh?
Can we talk about the fact that Aslov is getting a low 55 here?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was talking about. I was keen to see what time he ends up with, and it's scarily good time. No, you say that. Okay, yeah, no, you're right, it is a low 55. It's not far, it's really not far off a 54 though, which is... I mean, my PB is a 54-50, I don't even know what it is. It's a high 54, so he's not far off my PB with this run, which scares me.
I don't really have an actual PB. My PB is a very old route.
Yeah, all these people rerouting mid-race.
Exactly.
Oh, another critical mistake from Aslov there, failing the death walk to the final boss. Fun fact, I actually did that in my first time I was ever on pace to break the Jak 1 any percent world record. I did that exact thing, and I lost the world record. So just thought I would share that with you.
Thank you for sharing with the group.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Let's take a group photo with everyone who asked.
Well, my room's empty, so...
Take a selfie.
Right, so... Aslov got the first one frame, let's see if he gets the second one. He does. Dude,
Fun fact.
Can he start making more mistakes? He has made mistakes, to be fair, but like... I don't know, man.
I passed the controller to my girlfriend to do a 1 frame. She got 1/4 try. She's a natural born Jak speedrun.
Officially better than me.
Oh, Trotz only getting the 2nd eco. Why is that the theme for today? Aslov, 3 out of 3.
3 out of 3 1 frames. As the name suggests, not the easiest thing in the world to do. Something I've only done myself a handful of times, so...
Yes, can we just skip the post-race interview and just interview you instead, since you have a lot of experience in this game?
No.
Would you like to discuss more about your speedruns?
No, I think we're fine.
Alright.
Well, we could talk about that race you had with Morty.
That was a pretty insane race, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Anyway, this is
55-20. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, it is. He did do the cave hop, so that's saving him some time. But
So this is basically a terrible run with the cave hop, I agree.
yeah, he should do better, honestly. But really, this is a very impressive first run from Aslov. He is very much hot off the press, though. He PB'd yesterday. He's very close to world record. So not as surprising.
17. GG's Aslov. That's the top of the tournament.
Yep. Highest seed we've watched play so far. Unsurprisingly, by far the fastest run we've had.
Trotz also going to be getting a 58 here.
Yep. Which, again, that's a pretty good performance, considering his PB. That is both runners here having a good, sort of what you would expect, what you could hope for.
Yep. Pretty big stuff here.
I think we actually can't even get Aslov in for an interview, unfortunately, because I believe he has to run off to class. I believe someone mentioned that before the race. But hopefully we'll get Trotz in, maybe.
This would be nice to have a chat.
Yeah, or if we don't get either of them, as you said, we could just talk about our own life experiences.
Exactly.
First 1 frame for Trotz.
Good stuff. Should probably mention why that's faster. The next phase starts earlier than it would with just a normal jump.
when you get a 1 frame, you're effectively lowering the height of your jump on the pad, and the phase waits to start until your jet drops below a certain height. I think there is also something else to it other than the height, but that's the most important thing anyway.
Another thing that I do think we should just once more mention is the Urban Arts Partnership. The free pre-college creative coding program helps 2,000 and way more low-income students develop a broad skill set in order to pursue the careers of tomorrow. Thank you for sponsoring.
Very pog. We haven't mentioned actually, but they are responsible for the prize pool, I believe, behind this tournament. And everyone loves a prize pool, so thank you very much to them for that.
Thank you, Andy Gavin, for making this game.
Yes, thank you for my mum giving birth to me. Thank you for whoever did it, for creating the universe. You're a real G.
Please just stop. I still have time to do so.
Look, if you get me started on a train of thought, you're gonna let me finish. Anyway, speaking of finishing,
a 28, jeez, a 58-45-ish
world record.
Rerouting the category.
Going back in time, setting a time 30 seconds faster than his best possible time.
Okay, fine. We'll save the world. But
Aslov showing us that the credits are in fact
there. The credits do in fact exist.
Yes. I hope you all read those names in the credits.
There's that one like really long name. That's pretty funny. 58-47 for Trotz.
Incredible gaming.
48.
So that's
47.
what is that? That's 3.5 minutes exactly, and their PBs are separated by 2:40. So really,
yeah, pretty much the outcome that should have come from this race.
Very impressive from both of them, I would say.
For sure.
Right, well, it seems like Aslov's in the waiting room, so I think if he's got to go quickly, mate, as well get them both in here as soon as possible for a quick interview.
Do you want to start with listing all of their mistakes?
Yeah, that's what we usually do. Never a bad place to start.
You do have what it takes to be heroes.
But Daxter, now we can't change you back.
Can we
don't worry about me, baby.
can we pull them in for an interview? Is that possible? Can we do that?
We cannot.
It's banned.
You have an
But perhaps higher management can't pull that off.
Oh, it's happening. Welcome.
There we go. GG's, Aslov and Trotz.
Yo, GG's Trotz.
Very good work. 2 sub-1s, 2 sub-59s in fact, especially Aslov with the 55-18. Pretty big stuff.
Yeah, very impressive from both of you. Very pog runs, has to be said.
Ah, yes, indeed. Especially Mountain Pass was pretty nice.
Yeah, we were going to mention that. Yeah, but good job on the first cave hop of the tournament.
Yes, sir.
And congrats on the first Pelican miss, Trotz. That was very impressive.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Are you muted, Trotz, by the way? I can't hear him. Can anyone else hear him?
Yeah. No, I can't.
Cannot hear him.
Oh dear. Oh.
Hear shit for some reason.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Hello, Trotz.
Trotz?
Earth to Trotz.
Oh no.
We have no response.
We have a man down. But, well, we can talk to you, Aslov, a bit more about yours. I mean, other than that, you didn't really have many slip-ups. You had a few things, as
early game.
You'd expect, but, like, really pretty good, damn good race.
Did you have some, were you, like, slightly shaky in the early game, or you were playing? Yeah.
I get nervous, like, in any race and stuff.
Yeah, we could sort of tell there were a bit of nerves there, but you were in your groove, definitely by Hub 2, seems.
For sure. Is, like, my mistakes weren't any, like, I didn't miss really any tricks. It was all just movement.
Yeah.
I practiced some of the tricks I didn't want to miss, like Red Sage and stuff, but I wasn't, like, warming up my movement, and this controller is pretty weird. Like, my analog stick, it's, like, hard to slow walk, so I missed a lot of boosteds. especially in LPC.
Right.
Well, I would say congrats on being the first person to blame your controller, but you are not in fact the first person to do that. You are the second person. So,
Who's the first?
that was
G3?
G3, I believe. Yes.
Your orb count was also looking pretty rough.
Oh yeah, I missed the Misty event.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were agonizing over where those orbs were. I mean, well, for a bit anyway, but you made it work with the Sandover event.
Yeah, I'm fairly comfortable with the orb counts. Like, I pretty much know my orb count like every 2 seconds of the run.
Yeah, it just when you didn't get that Misty event, we thought that would throw it out of whack a little bit, as I'm sure it did. But yeah, you obviously know backups and all that.
It's like 7 seconds for the vent or something for me.
Told you.
Nah, it's all a lie. It's not 7. I'm fighting to the death over this. Anyway, should probably get on to Trotz though, because you had, again, Trotz, you are here, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we got him. You did have a pretty good race yourself, it has to be said. You had a few slip-ups here and there, obviously, like both Aslov did as well. But honestly, pretty good race run from you. How do you feel about it?
It's fine. I was just happy to get out of Misty without messing anything up, and then I didn't kill the Pelican. I was like, dude, you kidding me? I don't know how that happened.
That's like the only thing I can even think of in Hub 1.
Yeah, Hub 1 for sure.
I died in Boggy also.
Yeah.
I like messed up the oob, and then I just
the out of bounds. Yeah.
Point. Yeah.
Yeah, that out of bounds. It's understandable for people to mess that up because it's a pretty new thing that people are going for, and it's also not as easy as it looks. So it's like, yeah, it's not the worst thing to mess up.
I need to give you a serious pat on the back for going for tree hops in the need of time of dire, but unfortunately,
dude, it was kind of close too. That bounce was weird, but I probably could have made it work if I didn't like go so far right.
But yeah, I mean, you went for it and you didn't lose the race, so massive balls for going with that. You almost lost it. It was close, but you didn't. So you get to walk away without looking like an idiot, and that's all that matters.
Oh god, losing the race there would feel pretty bad, I think.
Speaking of Boggy, Aslov, did you think that you were on 2 health, taking damage from the frog?
Yeah, I was about to say, the Boggy was really good until I forgot the rat before the 4th tether damaged me, so I kind of just went into the frog thinking I had 2 health.
I mean,
you gave him a hug and he killed you.
That was like a 10-second time loss, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, that was basically your run. It was like, just you had like at most 10-second time losses sprinkled throughout the run, but the rest of it was pretty clean.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty happy with it overall.
Yeah, I think you both should be. Like I mean, Trotz, that Pelican miss, that's not going to happen very often. And if you take that out, this would have been a very low 58, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe even better. I mean, that might have tilted you a little bit. Something like that.
Yeah, dude, that got me so bad mentally. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I can't imagine climbing up onto the island, just seeing that dumb bird just sat there chilling.
Yeah, dude.
Just two cows.
Yeah.
It's like a 1 in it's like a 1 in 100 chance that like that doesn't work.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I don't even know what I really did wrong.
Have to review the tapes.
Yeah.
Ask the coach what happened there. Right, well, I think that might as well wrap us up for the match. And I think for now we are done with Jack for now. I think we are back later today.
Yeah, 4:15. At 4:15 local time for the stream. I'm not entirely sure what that is. I think it's EDT. But next up, going back to Minecraft, I believe that is Feinberg versus Raoul. So definitely stay tuned for that, and make sure you're back for more Jack in a few hours' time at 4:15.
Right.
So that's a thank you from me, and I assume Stellar.
Yeah, you will be right assuming that. Thank you from me.
Yep, and stay tuned.